It is time, with all the injuries, for Samuel Basallo to be called up to the big leagues. Speaking of injuries, top prospect Enrique Bradfield Jr. pulled out of the game with another injury as well. Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest on a Monday as the Birds head into a series with the Texas Rangers. And look, something is wrong. Something is very wrong with all of these injuries. We're going to talk a lot about it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to get to Enrique Bradfield, top prospect, getting pulled out of a game, probably headed to the IL. We're going to talk about if Maverick Handley is going to head to the IL, the O's backup catcher, and why I believe Samuel Basallo's time is now in the big leagues. We're also, though, going to give you some glimpses of good news down on the farm as well. If you don't know the name Braxton Bragg or Michael Fourette, you're about to get to know those guys because they will be studs at the big league level if they can stay healthy and the Birds can keep them healthy. And we're going to talk about Ryan O'Hearn and give him his due as he is leading in the All-Star voting for the American League for DHs. Please like, subscribe, do all of the things. This is Orioles Digest. We're glad to have you here, and every day there's just so much to talk about. Today we're going to start with this man, Enrique Bradfield Jr., a top prospect for the Birds. I'm sure you've heard his name. Taken out of the game Sunday from Double-A with right hamstring tightness. So many hamstring injuries on this club. You'll remember he had hamstring tightness earlier this year and went to the IL. That was actually on his left leg. So now he has right hamstring tightness. He's probably headed to the IL. We'll keep you updated, but there is a problem here. There is a training and conditioning problem somewhere in this organization or at all levels of the organization, or there's a coaching issue, a preparation issue, there's something going on, because with the Birds having 11 guys at the major league level on the IL right now, minors have a bunch more. The Birds have had 24 on and off the IL this year, more than any other team in Major League Baseball. It is a major problem, and the Birds have to solve it, and they have to solve it because we have great young talent down on the farm, but we have to keep them healthy. And speaking of keeping great young talent healthy, I want you to watch this. If you haven't heard of Braxton Bragg, please keep an eye on him. He just came off the IL yesterday down in Double-A. Look, and he goes 3 scoreless and strikes out 5 on the first day off of the IL. If you look at his extended numbers, I'm going to show them to you right now. Bragg, 51 innings pitched, 33.5 strikeout percentage rate, a 1.24 ERA, and a .9 whip. Get to know Braxton Bragg down on the farm, because this is a guy that, if he can remain healthy, this is a guy that you're going to see at the big league level sooner rather than later. And speaking of guys that you're going to see sooner rather than later, that's Bragg again. Speaking of guys you're going to see sooner rather than later, keep an eye on down at single A. He's ready for the bump up to Double-A, Michael Fourette. Michael's line on Sunday, 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, 4 Ks. But more importantly, he now has a 1.34 ERA with 43 strikeouts in 33 2/3 innings this year. So again, keep an eye on Fourette, and keep an eye on Braxton Bragg. If the Birds can keep them healthy, these guys could be at the big league level before you know it. Speaking again of healthy, I know you've seen it. Maverick Handley getting slammed by Jazz Chisholm as he comes around third. Right there, boom. Handley gets taken out of the game. Let's take it one more time. Handley gets taken out of the game. Clearly, he's shaken up. And I know many of you in the comments, have said, well, he got right back up. I'm sure he's fine. Well, he gets pulled out of the game. There's a strong possibility he's going to go into the concussion protocol. We are going to find out today if Maverick Handley is going to have to take any time, any extended time from the club. I think so. I think at the very least, concussion protocol, he's out seven days. That's what I think. And if he is, then what I propose to you is it is time for Samuel Basallo to come up to the big leagues. What can it hurt? The Birds basically have to play 700 plus ball between now and the trade deadline to get to 500, if that's your barometer of a buy-sell team. My barometer is the Birds have to be about 4 out of the wild card in order to actually think about being buyers and not unloading. And as you all know, I do not think the Orioles should be sellers this year. I think there's too much talent on this team, and I just don't think, unload guys that you're going to lose as free agents potentially, that you're not going to be able to sign. But otherwise, I don't want this team to sell because there is so much good talent. But I do believe Basallo should be called up to the big leagues, because why not? He could DH. If you're worried about his catching, and I'm not, he could still DH. And especially if Handley goes on the IL, you need somebody on the team that knows how to catch. And there's a couple other guys, who we may see get called up if Handley is indeed hurt. But I still think, call Basallo up. Call Basallo up because, why not? Why not at this point? You have guys that you could call up, Chadwick Traum, you have David Benuelos as well, but they're not going to give you the spark and the pop. And even if you call one of those guys up to be a backup catcher, you still have to think about calling Basallo up for his bat. And speaking of bat, before I let you go, the leader in the All-Star voting for designated hitters for the American League, thank you, Rafi Devers, is Ryan O'Hearn with his 10 dingers, 28 RBIs. He's been knocking the socks off the ball, 66 hits, just very reliable, as you all know. His slugging percentage at .477, his OPS plus at 146. Ryan O'Hearn, most likely an all-star for the Birds this year in the DH spot. People are talking about Jackson Holliday also, in the running at second base. Do you think Jackson Holliday is an all-star? Tell me. Do you think Ryan O'Hearn is an all-star? Tell me. Do you think Samuel Basallo is ready for the majors? Tell me in the comments. We're tracking all of this. There's going to be a lot of developments over the next couple days. I'm Jon Leiberman, Orioles Digest.